Look at the blue right there. That's from me just washing off the outside of the bottle. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dalton. Welcome to Bertrand Acres. In this video, we are going to be adding some pond dye to the pond. There's a lot of benefits to that. Not only does it look really cool, but it also blocks like the UV rays from the sun and kind of can starve off a lot of that algae. So that's kind of what we want to do. Algae is not fun to look at. I know it's pretty good to have in your pond. It means your pond's somewhat healthy, but you don't want too much of it. I will be getting a grass carp here shortly. I haven't heard back on the permit just yet, but I will be adding one of those fish to this pond. And then of course I plan on adding like bluegill and largemouths in the near future as well. So we are gonna add this stuff right here. And that is from Tractor Supply. I think you can get it on Amazon too. If you can, I will put a link down below. Pretty good stuff. It's harmless to the ducks and the birds and the fish and all that. So we're gonna give it a shot. We don't need even half of that jug for this size pond. We're at about 1/3 of an acre. So I think we're gonna use maybe a gallon or so. We'll see how much that spreads and then we'll go from there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I do have to pull out some of the algae along the banks there, and so we're gonna do that quick, and then I'm gonna put some of the dye in, and then we'll see how fast it'll spread before it gets dark. So I'll end up checking in with you tomorrow probably, because that's probably gonna be how long it takes to fully spread around the pond. All right, that's gonna do it for that part. Just kind of clearing out a little bit of the bulk of it. I probably pulled, I would say, 700-800 pounds worth of algae out of it. Maybe not that much, but probably at least 400 pounds of algae out of there. Once it dries, it won't be that heavy, but wet algae. There's a big pile right there. There's a bunch over there. I didn't film all of it, of course. It'd be kind of boring. But yeah, that's a lot. Not the most efficient way, obviously. I'm just getting the bulk of it. We're kind of learning as we go, but I have done a lot of research. I think we're on the right path. Everything's starting to look a lot better. Before I do an algicide, I want to see how it does with the aerator and the dye. So that's going to be what we're going to do next. I'm going to put some of this in here. This is probably not a great idea, honestly, because it's going to get everywhere. This stuff is so, oh man. All right, guys, this stuff is so strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna walk around pretty much the whole perimeter of this. Look at the blue right there. That's from me just washing off the outside of the bottle. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk along the perimeter of the pond. I don't know if I'm gonna need the whole gallon, because I mean, it says a gallon is like 300-some thousand gallons. I don't know that this pond is quite that or not. It's about 1/3 of an acre. So I'm gonna go ahead and run about maybe half of that and see what happens, see how far it goes. I think it's gonna cover pretty well though. A little bit right there. actually a couple days later. Oscar is, I don't know what he's doing, taking a bath, I guess. But anyways, a couple days later, you can see how blue this is. It's all spread out now. It looks incredible. It's like something down in like, you know, South Florida or like Mexico. That blue, it looks amazing. So for like 60 bucks, well, maybe like $100 with the dye and the landscaping rake with the pool noodle, you can make your pond look a lot better. Now, I do have an aerator, I do have a fountain, so that does help. And we're gonna be getting fish here shortly, so all of those things can help. But I think it's a nice first step into making your pond look really pretty, like this one. There's still a ways for us to go, but I really love the way it looks right now. I'm gonna try my absolute best to keep it looking like this year round. I would love to. We've only owned this property for like a little over about a month and not quite a month and a half, almost a month and a half. And so we love it, we really do. But I'll put a link to everything in the description. If you guys are interested, I'll put the Amazon links to that dye, and I'll put a link to one of those rakes down below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you guys liking videos, commenting, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. If this is the kind of content you guys like, whether it's pond maintenance, log cabin maintenance, just homesteading in general, then I think you're in the right place. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.